Half of all men over 50 quietly lose their strength in the most intimate way possible. Their erections fade, their energy dwindles, and their nights grow restless. They blame age, stress, or bad luck, but the truth is far more shocking. What if the real reason your body feels weaker isn't age at all, but the silent loss of one simple vitamin that your body desperately needs at night to stay potent, vibrant, and alive? I'm Dr. Mohit Khera, a urologist and men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience helping men reclaim their vitality. I've seen thousands of patients walk into my office ashamed, frustrated, and tired of feeling like half the man they used to be. And I've watched those same men completely transform once they understood the science of how their body really works after 50. Here's the paradox most men never hear. The key to harder erections isn't just testosterone, it's sleep. And the key to deep, powerful sleep comes from a vitamin your body can no longer produce in the same way it once did. This single nutrient, when taken at night, can reawaken your natural rhythm, restore your hormones, and rebuild the confidence you thought was gone for good. By the end of this session, you'll know exactly how one nightly vitamin can help you sleep deeper, wake stronger, and perform better, naturally and safely, without drugs or gimmicks. Stay with me, because in a moment I'll reveal the specific vitamin and how to use it to bring back your potency, your vigor, and the kind of nights that make you feel like yourself again. Before we dive in, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and turn on the notification bell. That way, you won't miss any of my future tips on restoring male vitality, better sleep, and natural strength after 50. And if you find this message helpful, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Your feedback helps me make these lessons even more useful for you. Now that you understand the power of this nightly vitamin, let's begin with the foundation, the connection between sleep and testosterone. Because before any man can regain his strength, he must first restore the deep, healing sleep that fuels his hormones, his energy, and his vitality. 1. The hidden link between sleep and testosterone. When most men think about testosterone, they imagine it as something that comes from a pill, a shot, or a supplement. But here's the truth I've seen over and over again in my clinic. Real testosterone, the kind your body naturally produces, depends on how well you sleep at night. You can lift weights, eat right, even take all the right vitamins, but if you're not getting deep, restorative sleep, your testosterone will never reach its full potential. I remember one of my patients, a 62-year-old man named Richard. He came to me complaining about low energy, poor focus, and a fading sex drive. He'd tried everything: testosterone gels, herbal pills, even those expensive injections. Nothing worked. But when we looked deeper, the real issue wasn't his testosterone level, it was his sleep. He was waking up 3, sometimes 4 times a night, mostly to use the bathroom, and never reached the deep sleep stages where testosterone is naturally restored. You see, your body releases testosterone in pulses, mostly during the first few hours of deep sleep. It's like your body's nightly repair cycle. Miss that window, and your hormone system never truly recharges. In fact, research from the University of Chicago found that just 1 week of sleeping 5 hours a night dropped testosterone levels by nearly 15%, the hormonal equivalent of aging a decade in 7 days. When men finally start sleeping deeply again, something remarkable happens. Their morning energy returns, their focus sharpens, and yes, their erections grow stronger and more reliable, because when you fix your sleep, you fix your hormones, and when your hormones are balanced, your entire body begins to work the way it was meant to. So before chasing external fixes, look inward. Ask yourself, when was the last time you truly slept like a man who wakes up ready for the day? Because once you understand how powerful sleep really is, you'll see why the vitamin we're about to discuss plays such a crucial role in bringing that strength back. And that's exactly what we'll uncover next. 2. The silent role of melatonin, the nighttime power vitamin. Most men think of melatonin as nothing more than a sleep aid, a small pill you take to fall asleep faster. But in reality, melatonin is so much more than that. It's not just a sedative. It's a natural hormone your body produces every night to rebuild, restore, and recharge. In my years of working with men over 50, I've seen what happens when melatonin levels drop. The nights become shorter, the sleep lighter, and the body slowly forgets how to repair itself. And when that happens, everything else begins to fall apart: testosterone, circulation, and even confidence. I once treated a man named George, a retired firefighter in his late 60s. He told me, "Doc, I can fall asleep, but I never feel rested." His blood work showed something interesting. His melatonin levels were almost non-existent. We started with a simple change: a small dose of melatonin taken about an hour before bed. Within weeks, he came back with a smile I hadn't seen before. "I'm sleeping through the night again," he said, "and my mornings, well, they're back too." Here's what many don't realize. Melatonin doesn't just help you sleep, it helps protect the very blood vessels that make erections possible. It works quietly, reducing inflammation, supporting nitric oxide release, and guarding the delicate endothelial lining of your arteries. In other words, melatonin helps keep the highways of your body open and clear so blood can flow freely where it's needed most. And when blood flows better, your potency, energy, and confidence all return. But there's one catch. Melatonin production naturally declines with age, sometimes dropping by half by the time you reach 60. That's why supplementing it properly can make such a powerful difference. Because restoring melatonin means restoring your body's rhythm, your hormone balance, and your strength as a man. And if melatonin is the nighttime spark that restores you, wait until you discover the daylight nutrient that fuels your hormones, mood, and energy from the inside out. That's what we'll explore next. 3. Vitamin D, the hormonal bridge between sunlight, sleep, and strength. When most people hear vitamin D, they think of sunshine and bone health. But to me, as a doctor who has spent decades studying men's vitality, vitamin D is far more than that. It's a hormone in disguise. I've seen countless men walk into my office feeling drained, low on energy, and struggling with focus, only to discover that their vitamin D levels were critically low. Once we corrected that, their spark returned, their testosterone rose, their mood stabilized, and they began to feel like themselves again. One man I'll never forget was James, a 67-year-old retired teacher who came in saying, "Doc, I'm just tired all the time." His blood work told the story: low testosterone, mild depression, and severely low vitamin D. We didn't rush to medication. Instead, we started with a simple plan: daily sunlight when possible, and a modest vitamin D supplement taken with dinner. Within weeks, his wife called to tell me he's smiling again. He's even whistling in the mornings. That's what vitamin D does. It reconnects your mind and body, bringing life back into balance. Vitamin D supports your testosterone by improving how your cells communicate. It strengthens the walls of your blood vessels, enhances nitric oxide activity, and stabilizes mood by calming inflammation in the brain. When levels are low, everything suffers. Libido drops, sleep becomes lighter, and even your outlook on life darkens. But when vitamin D is replenished, your entire system feels aligned again. Interestingly, taking vitamin D in the evening, especially with a meal that includes healthy fats, can help your body synchronize its internal clock. It gently supports the melatonin rhythm, helping you fall asleep faster and wake more refreshed. This is why I often call it the bridge between day and night. It connects your hormones, your sleep, and your strength into one seamless system. And while vitamin D builds the foundation, there's another mineral that completes the structure, one that relaxes your body, calms your mind, and unlocks the physical strength that many men lose with age. Let's talk about that next. 4. Magnesium, the relaxation mineral that unlocks potency. If there's one mineral I wish every man over 50 understood, it's magnesium. I often call it the body's relaxation signal, because without enough of it, nothing works as it should. Your nerves stay tense, your muscles can't fully relax, and your sleep becomes shallow. I've seen this pattern again and again in my patients. Men who are eating well, exercising, even taking vitamins, yet still can't shake that sense of fatigue or restlessness. When we test their magnesium levels, they're almost always low. I remember a patient named Alan, 71 years old, who told me, "Doc, I feel wired but tired. My mind races at night, and my body won't rest." His story was so familiar, it hurt. We introduced magnesium glycinate into his nightly routine, just one capsule about an hour before bed. A month later, he looked like a new man. "It's strange," he said. "I'm sleeping through the night, and I wake up calm and clear." What he didn't realize was that magnesium was quietly restoring balance in his body, lowering cortisol, easing muscle tension, and supporting the same nitric oxide process that drives healthy blood flow and strong erections. When your magnesium is low, your stress hormones stay elevated, your blood vessels constrict, and your body remains in a constant state of alert. But when you replenish it, everything softens. The blood vessels relax, oxygen moves freely, and your nervous system finally lets go. It's that deep physical calm that allows testosterone to rebuild and erections to return naturally. Sadly, magnesium deficiency is incredibly common in older men because absorption decreases with age, and many medications, like acid blockers or diuretics, drain what little you have left. That's why supplementing with the right form at the right time can make such a dramatic difference. Taken at night, magnesium works hand in hand with melatonin and vitamin D, forming a trio that restores your sleep, circulation, and masculine energy. And when your blood begins to flow freely again, something remarkable happens inside your body, a transformation that starts in your vessels but shows up everywhere else. That's where we're headed next. 5. Circulation, the hidden engine behind male potency. No matter how balanced your hormones are or how healthy your mind feels, true potency depends on one thing above all else: circulation. Erections are, at their core, a vascular event. When blood flow slows, everything else follows. I've met countless men who thought their problem was low testosterone, when in truth, their blood vessels were simply losing flexibility. That's the silent truth most men never hear. Your erection is a reflection of your vascular health. One of my patients, Robert, a 68-year-old former engineer, told me, "Doc, I still feel desire, but my body doesn't respond like it used to." When we dug deeper, we found signs of poor endothelial function. The inner lining of his blood vessels was stiff and inflamed. We didn't start with pills, we started with restoration. I had him take magnesium at night, optimize vitamin D levels, and use low-dose melatonin to protect his vascular lining. 3 months later, he told me with a grin, "I didn't realize how much of my youth was trapped inside my own blood flow." That's what many men don't understand. Blood vessels aren't static. They heal, repair, and grow stronger if you give them the right support. During deep sleep, your body repairs the endothelial cells that produce nitric oxide, the molecule that signals your arteries to open up. And here's the beautiful part. The very nutrients we've discussed tonight, melatonin, vitamin D, and magnesium, work together during this exact window. Melatonin shields the vessel walls from oxidative damage, vitamin D improves their responsiveness, and magnesium relaxes the smooth muscle so blood can surge freely again. When circulation returns to its natural rhythm, the effects go far beyond the bedroom. Your energy rises, your mind clears, and your confidence returns. Because good blood flow is life itself, it nourishes every organ, every cell, every part of who you are. But to make this transformation last, there's one final step: bringing all of these pieces together into a simple nightly ritual that turns aging into renewal. And that's what we'll explore next. 6. The nightly ritual. Restoring strength, one evening at a time. By the time most men reach 60, their bodies no longer recover the way they used to. Energy dips faster, sleep becomes lighter, and mornings lose that familiar drive. But here's something I've learned after decades in men's health. Your body hasn't forgotten how to heal. It's just waiting for the right signals. Every night offers a window of repair, and when you give your body the right tools before bed, that window opens wide again. I remember a patient named Dennis, a 64-year-old retired pilot who said, "Doc, I feel like I've aged 10 years in the last 6 months." We didn't chase miracle pills or hormones. Instead, we built a simple nighttime routine. A glass of water, lights dimmed an hour before bed, 3 milligrams of melatonin, magnesium glycinate, and vitamin D with dinner. Within 3 weeks, He came back lighter, more confident. "I can't explain it," he said, "but my sleep feels deeper, my mornings stronger, and everything else just works again." That's the beauty of a consistent nightly ritual. It sends a message to your body that it's safe to rest, repair, and renew. As the lights dim, melatonin begins to rise, guiding you into deep, restorative sleep. Vitamin D, taken with a healthy meal, balances hormones and supports vascular healing. Magnesium calms your nerves, loosens tense muscles, and lowers cortisol, preparing your body to rebuild overnight. These aren't magic tricks, they're biological truths. You're simply aligning your routine with how your body is designed to heal. This ritual doesn't just restore physical strength, it restores peace of mind. When you wake up rested, confident, and centered, the world feels different. You feel capable again, alive again. But what if I told you that the most powerful change doesn't happen in your body? It happens in your mindset, in how you see aging, vitality, and your own potential. That's where we'll go next. 7. The mindset shift. Aging is not decline, it's renewal. Somewhere along the way, society taught men that aging means losing power, that once you cross 60, strength, passion, and desire are supposed to fade. But I'm here to tell you, that belief is false. I've seen men in their 70s regain the vitality they thought was gone forever. And it didn't start with a pill or a supplement. It started with a shift in mindset, a realization that your body is not your enemy, it's your partner. When you care for it with consistency and patience, it rewards you with resilience, confidence, and a deep sense of calm strength. One of my patients, Harold, once said to me, "Doc, I just don't feel like myself anymore." I asked him to describe what that meant, and he said, "I used to wake up ready to take on the day. Now I wake up hoping it ends soon." That kind of quiet despair is far too common among men over 60. But here's what changed everything for Harold. He stopped viewing his body as broken and started viewing it as capable of healing. He committed to small nightly habits: melatonin, magnesium, deep breathing before bed, and, more importantly, he stopped rushing the process. 6 weeks later, he walked into my office standing taller, smiling wider. "I feel alive again," he said. "Not young, but powerful." That's the secret. Aging doesn't steal your strength. It simply asks you to earn it differently, to slow down, listen, and rebuild with intention. When you approach your health as a partnership with your body rather than a battle against time, everything changes. Your sleep deepens, your mood brightens, and your drive returns, not just physical drive, but the will to live fully. And as we close this journey, I want to share one final truth, one that ties everything we've learned into a single, powerful message about how to age with strength, purpose, and pride. Let's finish this together. 8. Conclusion. Your nights can heal, your mornings can rise again. As we come to the end of this journey, I want you to take a deep breath and remember something simple yet powerful. Your body is not done. It still knows how to repair, restore, and rise again. You've just learned how to work with it, not against it. Melatonin, vitamin D, and magnesium aren't magic. They're tools that help your body return to its natural rhythm, the one it followed effortlessly when you were younger. When you support your sleep, your hormones, and your circulation, you're not just treating symptoms, you're rebuilding the foundation of your vitality. I've seen this transformation countless times. Men who thought their best years were behind them begin to wake up stronger, calmer, and more confident. They sleep deeply, think clearly, and feel desire again. Not because they turned back time, but because they started honoring their biology. The moment you decide to care for yourself, your body listens. It rewards consistency, patience, and self-respect. So tonight, before you go to bed, take that first small step. Dim the lights, breathe deeply, and give your body what it's been asking for, a chance to restore itself. Because aging is not a loss of life, it's an invitation to live it more fully. If this message spoke to you, stay with me. There's more to discover, more ways to strengthen your body, sharpen your mind, and live with purpose at any age. Your best nights and your best mornings can still be ahead of you.